just like my twin flame awakening 8 years ago.
Welcome. This was the third time I tried to come on and do a reading. It's because I had some files to delete. Yeah, I had to reboot my phone and clean it out because it was holding on to too much. So, like us, when we start spiritually awake, we have to clean things out also, you know. We have to go into our cave. We always talk about caves. If you follow me, you'll know that. The cave inside. To clean it out. To come up against some shadows. To face our shadows and face our fear. And yeah, a good clean out is what we're giving us. But this good clean out can take longer than what it's just took me to clean my phone out. Yeah, it can take years. Not to scare anybody, but that's the truth of this path. I'm a twin flame, so it's took 8 years to balance myself out, balance this connection out. I'm still on journey, last leg of the journey now. I know. I mean, that's the end of stage. And it's been a long winding road. And at this present moment, I'm a bit under the weather. So I think everything's caught up with me, you know. Because this long winding road, you're up against obstacles, you're up against your shadows. You're not going to eradicate your shadows, you're going to heal them. You're up against people, you're up against society, you're up against your family, your friends, you're up against your twin, you're up against the world. And that is not an exaggeration. Because you are the mirror. You are a mirror that holds this mirror up to others. And, you know, like my mirror got held up to me by my twin, and I held the mirror up to her. We didn't like it at first, you know. I didn't. I was like, what's this about? Why do I feel like this all of a sudden? Why do I want to go on this long winding road? My life was going pretty well, you know. I had a road and it was straight, and I knew the direction I was going in. No. When you get that mirror held up to you, you're going on a winding road. It's not a straightforward path. Twin flame is not that. It's far from that. And it's having a long way to go or taking many detours. It's very complicated. Yes. This is the twin flame journey. Long, winding, complicated, full of obstacles road. Sounds scary? Yeah, it is. It's a scary path. Not going to lie. It's also about right timing. You know, so it's divine timing. So you can't push that, you know. You can't think, right, I'm choosing this time now, you know, for union. No, it's about divine timing. You know, that sand glass. Yeah, the sands of time. That's the twin flame. You found each other in every lifetime. You made a soul contract to find each other. And in this lifetime, that's when that sand's, what's it called? Hourglass, is it? The hourglass. That's when the hourglass starts to balance out. See the balanced sand? Yeah. Divine timing. Yeah, so this journey, let's go, Spirit. Yeah, you're breaking free. You're breaking free from all the restrictions. You're breaking free from these chains. These chains get shattered by the time you reach a certain point of your journey. These chains no longer have you bound. That was me at the beginning. When I started off on this long winding road, yeah, I was behind these chains. I wasn't free. No, I was this caged bird. I was this bird in a golden cage. I was a golden bird also. Didn't know it at this stage, early stage of the journey. Did not know that I had this gold inside me. And I didn't know that I was in a cage, you know, because I've just been going along and living my life thinking I was free and I was being the real me. No, was I wrong? I was this girl, I was this lady, I was chained. I was getting out of a situation or being on your own. It says that on this card. Freedom, independent. Yeah, I was becoming independent. I was becoming to find my own identity. I was breaking free from this cage that society had me held in, that others' projections, others' judgments has had me held in. The ancestral also. So this golden bird was also finding her wings. Not only finding her wings, but she was giving the ancestors their wings back. And breaking the ancestors free from these chains. And for the generations to come. My children, their children. My family line, my sisters. Yes. I know exactly what this golden bird.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Done.
Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Thank you, Alexa. Yeah. This golden bird was finding her golden wings, you know, because in this cage, I didn't know I was golden. Did not have a clue I was golden in that cage. And then, you know, I started to hear these songs, started to hear music. I started to hear music daily, and I still do. Get telepathy through music. That's the twin flame telepathy. It's also angels. It's also spirit guides. You know, getting messages to me, aligning me on my path. Yeah, these musical notes started to come in daily. And I started to get in sync, you know, with these notes. So I started to realise why I was hearing the music and what I needed to do every time I got a download of a song. Yeah, I got in sync with these musical notes. Any more messages, please, Spirit? Any more? I was going to come on and do the practical magic second reading to that, but Twin Flame one wanted to come through, pushed its way in front. You can get many downloads, you know. You don't just have to get one off Spirit. No, they like to keep me busy. Yeah, I know why. Because there's some twin flames out there that they're unsure, they're questioning the past actions and current decisions. They've got doubts and they need time. Yeah, this path, you know, if you didn't question it and you weren't sure about it, you wouldn't be a twin flame. Because this is a path of uncertainty. supernatural. It's path like no other, you know, and it's for the strongest of souls. You have to be a very ancient soul to navigate this path and all the uncertainties and complications that arise on it, and supernatural and the synchronicities, and yes, I'll say it again, the supernatural. Yeah, that's going to mess with you, you know, it's going to mess with your human mind, your logic, and it did mine for quite a while. Now, I'm always looking out for the supernatural. I'm like, oh, come on, spirit, why are you going all quiet on me? At first, you know, at the beginning of this road, and I was just breaking free from these chains. Song, break free from the chains. I know a fairy tale. Can't you hold on for one more day? Yeah, someone holding on, trying to hold on, because there's a reason why this message has pushed itself forward. You know, like I like myself, when I hear these notes, these love songs, I'm like a human jukebox, so I can get many downloads from spirit, downloading that jukebox on a loop, one after the other. But until, you know, they're ready, until my nervous system's received them, and I've well, I can see like a computer now taking in all that information. Do you know, like the codes? Yeah, like when you see, yeah, I could just see like all the codes, the information going into a computer. Yeah, until my nervous system is ready and I've took all that information in, there's downloads. Yeah, that's as I'm likening it now. I'm getting the visions now. But yeah, these notes, yeah, I can get many. So I just have to get one. I can get many. But there's a reason why. So somebody out there, or many out there, they're questioning. They're unsure about this path. But you know, if you're unsure about this path, that means you're a twin flame. Because you're meant to have doubts. You wouldn't be human if you didn't have doubts about this path, because does it take you there? Yeah, somebody in separation. Yeah, space to grow, evolve. It's outsiders. What's the word? So somebody out there, or many, who's on this path, they're unsure, and outsiders are putting those doubts there. So, you know, you can be on this path and you can be sure that you're on this path. And for me, divine feminine energy, I was pretty sure that something supernatural was going on and something connected to another was going on, because of all the things that I was experiencing that I haven't spoken about, because they are out there, you know, they're really out there. Astral projection. I've had many experiences of that connection to my twin, but it's happening to me. So, you know, there's been times where I've been like, am I going mad? What's going on? Like, but for me as a divine feminine energy, the one that's intuitive, connected to spirit, yes, I've had my doubts. Yes, I've questioned it, but it was more about the outside noise coming in at me, others people's projections, others' judgments, making me question and doubt, because the divine feminine energy in me knew that this was a connection like no other. is a connection like no other. I knew it was soul, but it's about outsiders. So somebody letting the outside external noise, judgments, projections, put doubts in the mind is what I'm getting from that. It's really hard, you know, when you're the one that knows that this is a connection. It's a connection like no other. It's soul connection. It's really hard to drown out that external noise of others and listen to your own voice, you know, because yeah, you know that this is timeless. You know that. Both these cards, one's got flames and burning bright, twin flames. The other, it's got divine feminine, divine masculine. You know, it's a timeless connection. Yeah, you're confident. It says here, you're confident of that. Because there's no way you can't know. It's just impossible. Yeah, flame. It says flame on this card. Yeah, you know that. First, you don't know the name of what you are, the label, shall I say. You just know that you're connected to another so strongly. Because I was having seriously supernatural things going on from the beginning of this journey. I did not know we was labelled as twin flames. Did not know that. Just knew that it was so. You know, there was no way I couldn't know. And one day I will speak about the strangeness of my experiences, and I'm going to write them in a book because they want me to write a book. And I'm resting at the moment. I'm recalibrating, and I'm resting. That blue moon has took it out of me. I'm not going to lie. It took it out of me, yeah. But I'm in preparation. I'm planning ahead. Can see what's going to come, you know. Can see what's coming in this connection also. I'm the one with I'm the sight, I'm the intuition, I'm the connection source. I knew there was something connected to another before I'm a twin, you know. Knew that, felt that, I'm meant to. The divine feminine is one that goes ahead. She guides. Divine masculine catches up. Energy, not gender. But I could see what was coming, you know. Didn't need these binoculars, no. Just needed me all-seeing eye. My intuition's the source. Knew what was coming. Did not know that I was on a journey on this long winding road to find the divine in me and find that balance in me. No, I just thought it was all about a connection and yeah. But then the awareness started to set in. I got more aware. The more work I did on myself, the more tended to my garden, and the more my roses grew. You know, and the more I watered, the more I fed myself, the more, yeah, I gave that love back to myself, the more these chains started to just share. You know, and the more this cage door opened, and the more I started to peek out that cage. I wasn't ready to fly at that point, but I was getting there. I was finding my wings, and that awareness came in. That awareness of, hang on a minute, I've been thinking this journey, this long winding road, is all about another. And yes, it is, but ultimately, that long winding road is a road back to yourself. So you're going on this long journey of breaking your chains, facing your shadows, finding your wings, setting yourself free to find yourself. And that's the awareness that comes. I can't remember when the awareness started to set in, but when it really cemented for me was it's been about balance. It's been about finding the divine feminine energy and the divine masculine energy in myself all along. When that awareness started to set in, it's game changing. I was like, I get it now. So I've got a vision of well, the Monopoly birds just come in, but also the checkers. So yeah, I started to make all the right moves, It was a game changer. And I thought, yes. When you go around the bird on Monopoly and it's pass go, yeah, I started to pick up speed and more awareness. And I was like, I get this now. I get it. What it's been about all along. It's your spiritual awakening. It's your journey back to yourself. It's about balancing your energies out inside of you. Yes, you are connected to another person. Yes, you are the same soul. You are split souls. A split soul into two bodies. That is why it's so magnetic and so repelling at the same time. You are mirror souls. You are those mirrors for each other. To go on this long journey, to find this awareness, to discover it's a journey back home to yourself. Yeah. And that became really freeing. When I got to that point of my journey, it changed everything for me. It made me see everything that I've been through up until this point, the judgments, the projections, all of that. Also, when I gave up caring what others thought about me and about my journey, yeah, I became unstuck. Like that card was stuck then. Well, I became unstuck. I started to communicate to others what this journey was about. Started to communicate the love, what this journey's brought me to. I found love for myself, and it's about loving yourself, and that's not in an egotistical way, because you balance the ego out. This journey is about balancing that ego, not eradicating it, but balancing it. But yeah, I started to communicate and truth talk, and what this journey's all been about, I'm still on it, and I'm at the surrender stage. And yeah, this letter, when I went to the Mary Magdalene cave, well, she was calling me there. She was calling me back to the cave. I remember going there, and in France, so it's the Cave of Eggs in France. If you can ever get there, please go, because the energy and the magic sacred forest that you have to find your way through. I thought this journey was hard. Yeah, 4.5 hours in that sacred forest, scorching heat, 1 bottle of water, going up, down, sideways, yeah, you name it, every direction going, following everybody else, but not listening to myself. Yeah, she called me back there to listen to myself. Also a lesson, that lesson was to listen to myself. Stop listening to everybody else around me. Stop following everybody else around me. She told me to sit down, and she was like, Ellie, close your eyes and listen. Eyes to see, ears to hear. You've done this journey. You've walked this journey 8 years. Stop listening to everybody else. And the minute I stopped listening to everybody else, I found my way to the cave. It took us 4.5 hours. What should have took us half an hour? That's because she wanted me to find my voice and listen to my inner voice, because she knows that I know this journey. I've done this journey 8 years. But that cave was her ceiling. It was it was like, I'm the letter, and I was putting this envelope, and she was sealing it up. She brought me back to that cave. She was summoning me back to that cave for a few months before I even knew I was going to have the funds to even make it to that cave. Yeah, but I knew it was going to happen, you know. Could see that. Could see that coming. That's the seer in me. That's my gifts that are retained. Call it prophetess or oracle. Yeah, I've done it many, many times. It keeps happening. So, no coincidence, you know. And I know I'm a high priestess of the Mary Magdalene Rose Path. Prophet, all of that. Yes, it's all retained to me for this journey. 8 years ago, somebody would have said that to me. I'd have gone, what planet are you living on? Get in the real world. No. I know now that everything that's happened to me on this journey, the unexplainable, the supernatural, the magic, my gifts returning, things that I see before they even arrive. Yeah, I know. Don't need these binoculars. My all-seeing eye and my gifts. Yeah, I've got the sight. She wanted me to seal that, you know, but first I had to learn a lesson on that mountain. And that lesson was the sealing. It was their stamp. Well done, Ellie. This is what I brought you here for, to see things from a high point of view. Because she also took me to the top of the mountain as well, to bring me back down again. Lessons in that, you know. She wanted me to see things from a different point of view. She wanted me to go inside, like I've done many times on this journey, meditated, day in, day out. Yes, I've done the work. She knew that I held all that inside me. But there was one more lesson, and I passed. Yeah, she gave me that seal. You know, and this journey, yeah, it's a love story to yourself. You know, it's a love letter to yourself. You're loving yourself. You've got to love yourself. It starts with you. Don't know if you caught my last reading, but yeah, it's about finding that love for yourself. Yeah, and your gifts. I've got some powerful gifts now, and that's not ego, that's the knowing. And that is because I've done this journey. I've gone into my cave. I've gone into the deepest, darkest depths of my psyche. So Carl Jung, you might have heard of him. Yeah, he was not kidding when he, you know, I've not read any of his books, but that's my next book I'm going to read. No kidding, you go into your psyche. You go into your deepest, darkest shadows. Your dark night of the soul. Yeah. When you went to this cave, you're going to see a dark night of the soul. Not everybody has a dark night of the soul. I did. I know why. It was forging me. It was getting me ready for this timeline, for my mission. All this journey has been getting me ready. It's been preparation. And the Mary Magdalene cave, I know, was that sealing of, wow, Ellie, you've done it. You've balanced your divine feminine and your divine masculine out inside of yourself. And you found, actually come back to love. Unconditional love for yourself. And now I was ready to come back home and communicate my journey with others. Truth talk. Fully, you know, not holding anything back apart from what I'm going to write in my book. Because to say that out loud to others, you know, they'd think, eh, what's she been? She been sparking? They'd be like, yeah. But, you know, to say anything about this journey to others, it sounds a bit unreal, doesn't it? Yeah, and I would have thought the same 8 years ago. Not now. When you go into these deepest, darkest parts of yourself and you uncover what I've uncovered, and many's uncovered it, like me, other twin flames. Nothing's impossible. Nothing's unbelievable. Yes, I do believe in magic. I've seen it happen. So it happened to me on the Mary Magdalene trail. I'm seeing more and more magic now on this timeline that I'm in. Yeah. That's why practical magic keeps coming forward to me. Because I can talk about things like this now, you know, because, yeah, I'm sealed. This letter in that envelope, fully sealed. I found balance. And I know what this journey's been about. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about finding that inner union in yourself. It's about facing these shadows, taking the shadows with you, balancing them out with the light. So you've got balance of birth on this card. About finding that balance inside yourself, inner union. And wow, do you find a lot more than I bargained for. Yeah, I just thought I was going to do a little bit of healing and yeah, like, you know, feel a bit fresher and no, it's so much more than that. It's stripping your old identity and you merge out of this cave, a new identity, but the person you've always been, you know, the soul, the human and the soul. And wow, do you walk out of this cave with magic and truth to tell others, to find their magic, find their light. Is that it, Spirit? Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, what a journey. Am I tired? Yeah, I am. Is it worth it? Yes, it is. Do these gifts just get a little bit too much sometimes? If I'm doing the truth talk, which that's what this journey is about, your authenticity. Yeah, you know, because the more you raise in vibration, the more layers you go up consciousness, the more you go into this cave and you discover more and more and more parts of yourself, and you bring those fractals back to yourself. Yeah, the gifts can get very, very powerful, and they can unbalance you sometimes. You know, they can make you tired. Yeah, because you're taking your body from that carbon, low density energy body, all the way to crystalline. Yeah, if you was to do that all at once, no, it'd be just too much. That's why this journey is called a journey. You've got to do it in layers. Move up consciousness, you know, in layers. Is it worth it? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Because I'm fully myself now. Fully authentic. Who I always was, you know, the soul. I always was. Why I came here. Oh, right, I'm going to leave it there. And I booked it in the best of me again. And One Mary Magdalene card. Yes, one Mary Magdalene card. Oop, Mary wants to pop in. Yeah, well, there you go. Says it all. The red thread. That card just popped out. That's this connection. The red thread is a connection of an unbreakable bond. You know, you can't cut this cord. You can't cut this red thread. It follows you in every lifetime. It's meant to. And it's so much bigger than you. There's a bigger plan, you know, at play, a divine plan. Right, that's Mary's mission. That's Mary's message. Yeah, it's a mission, twin flame mission. You don't see. I'm going to leave it there and have a lovely weekend. And I've got a live. I'd say it's my first live on my own. I did it with a friend who was co-creating with evwry, collaboration. But I've been getting Beyond Lemuria coming through. They want me to start doing lives and Beyond Lemuria with my Reiki and light language codes, and that will be at 3 o'clock on Sunday if you are free, and there'll be light language codes in there, distance Reiki, and I'll pull a few cards from Beyond Lemuria also. And yeah, just figuring out the lives, you know, like I was figuring out this journey 8 years ago, but I managed that. So a life can't be that hard, you know. This journey's been the hardest thing so far. But I can't imagine anything else being harder than this journey. So yeah, I'm going to start doing more lives, just getting myself on there. That's what they want me to do. So I shall do it. And not be scared to, you know, because I've faced my fears. Faced a lot of fears on this path. Yeah, been getting me ready for the big mission. And it's go time. And I shall speak to you all soon.